Let me tell you something. When a woman decides to live alone without boyfriends, people start whispering. They say, "Oh, she must be lonely, she must be waiting, she must be sad." Nah, that woman is not lonely, she's free. Free from nonsense, free from bad relationships, free from the kind of men who think a title makes them valuable while bringing nothing to the table. See, living alone ain't a punishment, it's a choice. It means she's got her own bills in her name, her own peace in her house, and her own schedule that nobody's disturbing. And let me tell you something, peace is priceless. Some of y'all don't understand that yet. Because a woman who chooses not to have boyfriends, that woman got standards. She's saying, I know what I bring, I know what I deserve, and I'm not lowering it for anybody. That ain't weakness, that's power. And let me tell you, power like that makes people nervous. Let me tell you something, independence is not a punishment, it's not loneliness, and it sure ain't a sign that you missing something. Independence is power. And when a woman leaves alone without a boyfriend, people will talk. They'll whisper, they'll judge, they'll throw little side comments like, "Oh, she must be lonely. She probably can't find somebody." But what they don't realize is this: she didn't lose, she chose. She chose peace, she chose strength, she chose herself over chaos, and that choice is one of the most powerful decisions a person can ever make. See, people think that if you don't have a relationship, you're somehow incomplete. They believe you need somebody standing next to you, so the world can stamp you as worthy. But here's the truth. If you don't see your own worth before somebody shows up, you'll end up handing them the pen and letting them write your value. Independence means you hold the pen. Independence means you define yourself, and you don't sit around waiting for somebody to validate your existence. Now let's get real about this. Living alone without a boyfriend doesn't mean sitting in the dark eating ice cream, crying about love songs. No, it means a woman has her own space, her own money, her own energy, and her own control. That's strength, that's self-control. That's the ability to stand up and say, I will not accept less than what I know I deserve. And that kind of courage. That's what separates the people who are truly free from the people who are just pretending. Some of y'all confuse solitude with weakness. But let me explain something. Loneliness is when you don't like yourself enough to enjoy your own company. Independence is when you love yourself enough that you refuse to let the wrong company steal your joy. That's the difference. A woman who lives alone without a boyfriend is not alone. She is surrounded by her peace, her goals, her growth, and her dreams. She has the room to breathe without somebody constantly draining her with half-effort love. Now, there's a lot of strength that comes with self-control, because let's be honest, it's easy to pick somebody, anybody, just to say you're in a relationship. It's easy to lower your standards so you won't be the only one walking into the wedding reception without a date. But independence says, I'd rather walk in alone with my dignity than walk in with someone who makes me regret it. That's power. That's the kind of power most people are too afraid to step into. And here's the real kicker. A woman who builds a life by herself becomes unstoppable, because she knows she can stand, she can survive, she can thrive without leaning on anybody to hold her up. So when she does allow someone into her world, she ain't begging for love, she's choosing to share it. That's a big difference. If she's independent, then a man, or anyone, becomes an addition to her life, not the foundation of it. And when you are the foundation of your own life, nobody can shake you, nobody can break you, and nobody can take away what you've built. You want to know what true freedom feels like? It's walking into your home, closing the door, and realizing every single thing in there belongs to you. Your peace, your money, your decisions, your time. That's what independence feels like. It's not being afraid of being alone. It's being so secure with yourself that you'd rather wait for what you deserve than settle for what's available. So when people look at a woman who lives alone without a boyfriend and try to pity her, they've got it all wrong. Don't pity her, respect her. Respect the discipline it takes to say no to distractions. Respect the strength it takes to look at the world's timeline and say, I'll move at my own pace. Respect the confidence it takes to sit in silence and still feel complete. That's a woman who's not defined by relationship status, but by her character, her drive, and her unshakable spirit. Independence is power. And when you live with that power, you stop waiting for people to complete you, because you already know you were complete the whole time. Let me tell you something straight. When a woman chooses to live without boyfriends, she's not announcing to the world that she can't find love. She's announcing that she won't settle. That right there is a powerful statement. Because in today's world, people are so caught up in appearances, in timelines, in pressure from family and friends, that they think just having somebody is better than having nobody. But when a woman steps back and says, I would rather wait for what I truly deserve than waste my time on something that doesn't serve me, that's a level of strength and maturity most people can't handle. You see, settling is easy. Anybody can do it. You lower your standards, you ignore your needs, and you squeeze yourself into a relationship that looks good from the outside, but feels empty on the inside. Settling is pretending, settling is lying to yourself, and settling is dangerous because it teaches you to live beneath your worth. But standards are the line in the sand that say, I know who I am, I know what I deserve, and I refuse to play small to make somebody else comfortable. That's not arrogance, that's self-respect. Now here's the truth people don't want to admit. Some relationships aren't blessings, they're distractions. They're not building you up, they're breaking you down. And when a woman decides she would rather live alone than settle for that, that's wisdom. She understands that peace is better than pretense. She understands that being single and fulfilled beats being in a relationship and empty. She knows that wasting time with the wrong person only delays the right one. See, when a woman holds her standards high, people will criticize her. They'll say she's picky, too demanding, or hard to please. But let's flip that. What's wrong with wanting respect? What's wrong with expecting loyalty? What's wrong with demanding effort? Standards don't mean perfection. Standards mean I won't be treated less than what I know I bring to the table. And that kind of mindset weeds out the ones who only want convenience and leaves space for the one who values commitment. Living without boyfriends doesn't mean rejecting love. It means rejecting nonsense. It means rejecting half-hearted effort, empty promises, and toxic cycles. It means saying no to relationships where you're giving everything and receiving crumbs. Because settling is when you choose crumbs and convince yourself it's a meal. Standards are when you push the plate away and say, I'll wait until I'm served what I truly deserve. There's a quiet confidence in women who won't settle. They don't chase validation, they don't beg for attention, and they don't compromise their dignity just to feel loved. They understand that love without respect isn't love at all. And when they walk away from situations that don't serve them, they're not walking away from love. They're walking toward their self-worth. That's a move that requires courage, and let's be real here. It takes strength to say no in a world where everybody's saying yes to the bare minimum. It takes backbone to look at someone who might check a few boxes, but not the important ones, and say, you're not it for me. That's not being cold, that's being clear. That's protecting your future from unnecessary heartbreak. That's protecting your purpose from unnecessary detours. So when you see a woman who lives without boyfriends, don't assume she's waiting around lonely and desperate. Understand she's protecting her standards, she's guarding her energy, she's building her life with intention, and when the right one comes along, she won't have to force it, she won't have to beg for it, she won't have to compromise who she is to keep it. Because what's truly meant for her will meet her standards. The truth is, settling steals your time, your energy, and your spirit, but standards protect them, and a woman who values her standards is a woman who values herself. She's not just living without boyfriends, she's living without the burden of regret, the pain of disrespect, and the weight of wasted time. So don't mistake her silence for sadness. Don't mistake her independence for bitterness. She's not bitter, she's better. Better because she knows waiting is not weakness, and holding out for the right one is not foolish. That's wisdom, that's self-love, that's strength. Standards over settling. That's how a woman proves she's not afraid of being alone, because she knows she's never truly alone when she has peace, purpose, and self-respect walking beside her every single day. Let me break it down. Peace is priceless. You can't buy it, you can't fake it, and once you've had a taste of it, you'll do anything to protect it. When a woman chooses to live alone without boyfriends, people might think she's missing out on excitement, but let me tell you, what she's really avoiding is chaos. Life gets real quiet, real focused, and real peaceful when you stop inviting unnecessary relationships into it. That's not loneliness, that's freedom. That's a woman saying, I'd rather water my own garden than keep trying to fix somebody else's mess. See, drama is expensive. It costs your time, it costs your energy, it costs your sanity, and too many people stay in relationships that drain them simply because they're scared of being alone. But here's the truth, being alone, and peaceful beats being with somebody and miserable. Peace lets you sleep at night. Peace lets you wake up in the morning without checking your phone to see what argument is waiting on the other side. Peace gives you the space to think, to grow, to create, and to actually enjoy your own life. A woman who chooses peace knows the value of her time. She knows that every argument, every toxic cycle, every ounce of unnecessary stress is energy that could be used to build her dreams, to nurture her health, or to enjoy the blessings she already has. She's not running from love, she's running from drama disguised as love, and trust me, there's a big difference. Some people will hand you chaos and call it passion, but peace is steady, peace is quiet, peace is healthy. And that's what she values. Let's be honest here, relationships without peace will rob you of yourself. You'll start forgetting who you are, you'll start doubting your worth, and you'll start shrinking just to fit into somebody else's dysfunction. But when a woman lives alone and chooses peace, she refuses to hand over her sanity in the name of companionship. She knows that nothing is worth losing her mind over, not attention, not validation, not some temporary affection that comes with a storm. People might not understand her choice, but they don't have to, because she knows that confusion is not love, consistency is love, respect is love, effort is love, and until those things show up, she's fine building a peaceful life on her own. That kind of clarity, that's power, that's the type of mindset that makes her unstoppable, because she's not distracted by drama pulling her in circles. She's focused, she's intentional, and she's free. Now let's talk about focus. When you cut out drama, suddenly your goals get louder, you hear your own thoughts, you notice opportunities, you have the space to build, to create, to dream without being drained by unnecessary chaos. That's what peace brings. A woman who chooses peace chooses progress. She'd rather put her energy into growing herself than wasting it trying to fix someone who doesn't want to be fixed. That's not selfish, that's smart. And self-growth, that's where the magic happens, because when a woman embraces peace, she learns more about herself. She learns what she loves, what she can do, and what she can become without the constant noise of drama clouding her mind. She learns to enjoy her own company, to invest in her own happiness, and to stand strong on her own 2 feet. That's not isolation, that's transformation. Peace gives her the foundation to become the best version of herself. Here's the thing, drama will always come knocking, but peace is about who you let in and who you keep out. A woman who chooses to live without boyfriends until she meets the right one is not rejecting love, she's protecting her peace. She knows that peace doesn't come easy, and once you have it, you don't just throw it away for someone who brings confusion, insecurity, or chaos into your life. So when you see her living alone, don't mistake her silence for sadness. That silence is peace, that stillness is growth, that solitude is strength, and that decision to avoid unnecessary relationships, that's her way of saying, my life is too valuable to waste on confusion. Peace over drama, that's the real win. Because love without peace is just noise, but peace with or without love, that's freedom. And when a woman chooses peace, she chooses herself, and that, my friend, is the most powerful choice she can ever make. So let me close this out for you. When a woman chooses to live alone without boyfriends, she's not weak, she's not lonely, and she's definitely not incomplete. What she is, she's powerful. She's powerful because she knows her independence is her strength. She's powerful because she would rather stand tall by herself than bend low just to keep somebody around. And she's powerful because she values peace more than she values drama. See, the world will try to tell her she needs somebody to feel whole, but she already knows she is whole. She doesn't settle, because settling means giving away pieces of yourself for the illusion of love. She doesn't chase chaos, because chaos steals your joy and clouds your future. She builds her own life, her own standards, and her own peace, and when the right love shows up, it won't disrupt any of that, it'll add to it. That's the lesson right there. Real power is not found in who you can hold on to, but in what you refuse to let hold you down. A woman who chooses independence, who holds her standards, and who protects her peace is unstoppable. She doesn't need validation because she validates herself every single day. And that's not loneliness, that's freedom. That's confidence, that's the definition of living life on your own terms. So don't ever underestimate a woman who chooses to live alone. Respect her, admire her, because she's not waiting, she's thriving. She's not bitter, she's better, and she's not afraid, she's free.